Hi everyone, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I haven't read the cards, I just laid them out. I was basically babbling about stuff no one cared about, so I decided to start over. Actually, I haven't even looked at them because I was babbling about shit no one cares about. Nice, I'm going to actually turn them over. I'm using the Vice Versa Tarot. It's a really cool tarot deck. It has, people read it as the upright and reversal, but I don't know. I don't even know if I see them as reversals or just, I guess that's what reversals are, a different perspective on the situation, not necessarily bad or good, just a different one. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Swords. And of course, the Hanged Man's always around because we're all hanging around waiting to get moving again. So here's this side of the Five of Swords. So he has made her submit basically to what he wants. So in this one, the other person, I'm not sure what it is walking away. That's really interesting. I haven't really studied these cards. So this is right fighting either way. Either you will bow down to what I want and I will exert my effort. I just noticed the believe was like, I'm going to, it's control, right? So you're either going to submit and have almost like an animal, right? You're just going to do what I say. So the choices that the other person dealing with someone like this has is this or this, to walk away. And it's like, good, keep all the swords, keep all the swords, but I'm out because nothing is worth that, right? I'd rather walk away, but there are a lot of times we do end up here. I think sometimes in jobs we feel as though we have to because we have to pay the bills, right? But in personal relationships, that's really something. If we find ourselves allowing other people to treat us poorly or to be just one of those people that my way or the highway, we really have to ask ourselves, because you can't control the other person, why are we staying? Or why am I allowing this person to be in my life? To just explore that if you're in this. Sometimes it's with family, it's with parents, and they're just very authoritarian, and the only way you can have a relationship with them is to just take whatever they dish out. That's a really, really tough one, because I know that's a really tough one. So I'm not even sure what that is, because the cards out here are fantastic. But I think so. Let me show you them. We have the Ten of Cups, the Happily Ever After card. I don't care which way they are. The Nine of Cups, the Wish card. I don't know what this creeper's doing. The Eight of Wands, which I really like as a fire sign. It's things coming very quickly. This is new love coming very quickly. This is messages if you've put your resume out there. We have this, which one? The Knight of Swords. So a change in thinking, a significant change in thinking. This is the King of Pentacles with all his, he's very, what do I want to say? I say bountiful, that's not the right word, but everything's blooming, everything's growing. He's very earthy. We're in Taurus season, right? So he's just sitting on that. I mean, you don't get much more grounded than that. Look at this air sign. Night is literally up in the clouds, and this earth sign king is, I mean, it doesn't get any more grounded than this. Sitting on a rock with all these flowers and fruits of the earth blooming. This is what he looks like on the other side. Still lots of growth and stability. I'm just turning him whatever way I want to look at him. I don't care. And the High Priestess. The card's very similar to Justice in a lot of ways. It's always striking to me. So I feel like with the High Priestess here, she's really asking us to go within this week. And she's asking for some very practical thinking with these two together. This is facts, data, things of that nature. And this is also, this is counting the money, the logistics, the tangible things, the everyday things, like aligning the facts and carrying them out in everyday life and seeing it's like thought and action unite with these two, which is that's what you want, right? So if you're dealing with someone, for some of you, I think maybe you've met someone, you're like, you're having trouble knowing whether to trust them, or is this real? You're maybe gun shy from having dealt with people like this in the past. So it's hard to know, is this person for real? Are they honest? So you look, do the words, like what they're saying, their thoughts. Can you see that playing out in the real world? Do those two match? Because it's the people that say one thing and do another, right, that are usually the more difficult people. And whether, what, I don't know what it is. It's just a disconnect between what they think they do and their actual actions. Go with your gut. That's with the High Priestess. If you have, and this is for anything, if you have this feeling, this deep down feeling that someone's lying or something it isn't quite as it is, or if you have a gut feeling that it is something special, or I need to give this a go. I need to see where it goes. Even if it doesn't end up being a long-term relationship, there could be things you benefit from it, wisdom you learn from it that can be beneficial in the long run. So she really asks you to go within and check in with yourself and see what you think. And also when the High Priestess comes out, I always like to think those things that sort of bubble up to the surface, that your inner devil, I say it, our ego, our negative thoughts, usually goes, oh no, you can't do that. You're not qualified. No one will like that. They won't like you. But whatever the list of negative things that we whip out anytime we want to try to make a change, try to ignore the devil and really allow those, like, I really want to become a fill in the blank. I really want to do fill in the blank. I really want this career, whatever it is for you. Then that devil's like, oh, but you have to go back to school, and then you'll have debt, and then you'll have this, and then that whole negative list comes out faster. But maybe so that needs to be pushed aside, and you really need to examine what you truly want. That's like your authentic self, and we're just trained to stomp on it and play it safe, right? That's playing it safe. If we never try, we'll never fail. Yeah, so listen to her. Now, let's talk about this up here. We have two of the nicest, most positive cards in the deck, the Wish card and the Happily Ever After card. So what is your Happily Ever After? It is not necessarily this picture ever at all. Lots of times there's a mom and dad and a kid, and I mean, it's just whatever. It's the stereotypical visual of happily ever after, but you're happily ever after. You may be alone. You may be with a same-sex person. There may be kids, there may not be kids, there may be dogs. There could be a house. There maybe it's traveling. It's you have to decide for yourself what your happily ever after is, and what's most important to you, and what will lead you to a fulfilling life. And hopefully, and really, it has nothing to do with having anyone else in the picture. That you can find what you love to do, and then if along the way you find that person that where you're both authentically living and you're a good match, well, that's my happily, that would be my happily ever after. But I think a lot of times we do it the other way around. We think if we have that other person, or when I get that job, when it's like we want to check something off our list. And it's I'm starting really to realize it's something that comes from within, and how we're living our own lives, because it's so much easier to project it out, and if that person's going to make me happy, that job's going to make me happy, whatever, this house is going to make me happy, having whatever we want to is on our checklist of things we must accomplish, that came from basically society anyway, from somewhere else. It's all from within, and how we can learn to be happy in the present regardless of what's going on. Now, if you are suffering from COVID, or you just lost your job, or you've lost someone, I'm not talking to you in this moment. You're in survival mode, and all you have to do is survive, right? So, but in general, if you're not involved in a crisis situation, it's learning to be happy. And I'm not saying people will be happy all the time, but just being at peace. I don't know, regardless of where you are on the journey. It doesn't mean don't have goals, but I think we can 10 years can go by, and I finally got this managerial position, and it's like, oh, that didn't do it either. I still feel the same, because we're looking outward instead of inward for that validation, or I don't know, that feeling, because we're in cups, right? And the wish card is it really also like, what do we really wish for? What is I wish for um, a certain career or type of person, but what is beneath that? Is it, I want enough financial security to be able to do something, and I think that's what's going to make me happy. I want another person, because what is that going to do for me? You know what I mean? What's at the very, this is really examining deep down what we think that's going to do for us. I would highly recommend, I've recommended this a lot, and I do not know him or get any money, is Eckhart Tolle's. I haven't actually read The Power of Now, but my friend said she read it, and it was the motivation to leave her first husband, who it was a very toxic, not a good match. It was her practice husband, she said. And, but I've read A New Earth, and I need to reread it. It really and I've gotten away from it. It really changed my life and allowed me to be at peace and present in a way I had no idea that it was possible. Um, and there are lots of different books out there and people out there that sort of teach along that acceptance and being mindful and present. But I would highly recommend A New Earth. Sometimes when the opportunity that comes with this Eight of Wands, it's that exactly what I was saying with this card, that that devil comes racing in, because usually we've put something out into the universe and it's coming back to us. You can think of it like a boomerang. We've thrown that boomerang out hoping to bring something to us. We've put out our intentions. We've literally applied for jobs. We've applied for a loan. We've put an offer in, excuse me, on a house, whatever it is. And this is the word. Yeah. Yep, it's a go. And this is the one that our ego creeps up and said, "Oh, are you sure you want it? What if it's worse? What if like all these negative things come up and we start to panic? We're like, I don't know. I don't know if I want this." And the real annoying thing that happens, and I'm speaking from personal experience, and it just shows my deep, deep insecurity, um, is if like you've been crushing on someone and all of a sudden you find out they like you. It's really an insecurity of my own that I try to sabotage it in some way, but it gets projected like, well, are they really that cute? Do I really like them? Do I really? All of a sudden you start doubting everything, their character, it's all superficial ego bullshit. Um, but it's a protective measure, I think, about, oh my God, this could be a real thing. I can't get hurt. I'm going to make up some bullshit reason why this won't work, or self-sabotage the relationship. And I do get a little bit of that going on, of our own insecurities and our own just fear because other relationships haven't worked out. So could this actually be the one I'm been wishing for, my happily ever after? Seems now that it's here, it seems like it's happening so fast, even though a month ago I would have been saying I'm never gonna find anyone. And now that it's here, I'm being crazy. And that's what our mind does. And I don't know if there's any right or wrong, but to really be still and to go within, and also to just take it as it is. There's no way to know how a relationship's going to be. I mean, I do have a crystal ball, but let's be real. There's no way to know how a relationship or a job or anything for that matter is going to be without being in it, without being in the relationship. And honestly, for a long time, people tend to bring their best selves in the beginning and before they relax and really open up, and both people are trying to figure out whether they can trust the other person, or it's interesting, right? So just take it slow, get to know the person, and um, obviously, I know if you had been with someone like this, it's really hard to open up again, but you don't have to do it all at once, and time will tell. And this time you won't miss those red flags and get sucked in so far and fast that, I don't know, you feel like you can't get out. So there's your reading for, it's May 4th. May the 4th be with you. It's not May 4th today, it is tomorrow. I hope you have a great week, and that you're doing okay. I'm sending you lots of love, and that you're well and your family's well, and yeah, let's just send out a lot of thoughts and prayers to everyone on the whole world and the planet itself right now, and take good care. Bye.